Well, hello, Ricelings. I'm getting excited because pretty soon I'm going to be able to see ya, give you great big hugs, and yeah, that's going to be wonderful. Now, today was pretty awesome. I got to go, remember, it talks about, you know how David conquered Jerusalem and those Jebusites that were living there? And they said, even the lame and the blind could ward off any invading army because Jerusalem was really strong with high walls at the time. But what David did is he crawled through a water tunnel on his and was able to get underneath the city and take it. So King David took Jerusalem using that tunnel. And boys, I walked right next to the tunnel he used today. So it's so cool. The type of stuff that we read, I'm able to walk and see it. And I really hope that someday I can take you guys, all of you, to come see Jerusalem for yourself and see where Jesus walked. So that's awesome. And yeah, it's just really cool. It was kind of funny. We walked around. It was probably David's palace. It was so cool. And our tour guide was kind of joking around. There's actually a toilet on the side of the wall, an ancient toilet. Now, what the ancient toilet was is it's just this square stone with a hole in the middle of it. Can you guys imagine using the restroom in that? It also kind of gives new understanding to the whole Bathsheba situation, whereas David was looking off of his palace, his terraced palace, and maybe seeing some bathrooms out there where a certain Bathsheba was freshening up. So anyway, it's really interesting to see things like that and to learn from it. So we went from that to the Pool of Siloam. You guys know what happened to the Pool of Siloam? John chapter 9 tells us, this is the one when Jesus is walking along with his disciples and he says, well, the disciples say, Jesus, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Because it's what's going on there. And that's a really important question because we often will wonder when you have things in our lives that are difficult, we'll think, did I do something to deserve this? But remember Jesus' answer. He said that this was not his sin or the sin of his parents, but that the power of God might be displayed. At that point, Jesus spit in the ground, made some mud, rubbed it in his eyes. That's pretty rude, right? Spit in the ground, make some mud, rub his eyes. And this poor blind man had to walk, and Jesus told him to wash in the Pool of Siloam. So he had to walk from maybe around the temple area, which is quite a hike down, with muddy spit eyes, and go all the way down there, and then wash off in the Pool of Siloam. And I got to sit on the steps that the blind man might have taken down. It's so cool to actually be able to be there at the exact spot this all happened. And, you know, for centuries, millennia, there was no evidence that these places existed, and all we had was God's word. But you know what? God's word is enough. And it's amazing when the more they dig, the more they find that shows us that God's word is true. It's not made up. It is true. So we moved from that and we went up to the Temple Mount. I'll explain more about it because it's kind of complicated. But the Temple Mount is basically a huge rectangular place with stones on which the temple sat. And it's gigantic. And I got to see some of the big stones that Herod used to construct the Temple Mount. Pretty amazing. And then I got to see the steps that led up to the temple. And so there's a lot of really cool things that are going on. Also, remember Hezekiah? Hezekiah was a pretty remarkable king. And one of the things that he did is he built a huge wall on the northern side of Jerusalem to protect from Assyrian invasion. And in Isaiah it says that Hezekiah actually built it on top of houses. And I went to go take a look, and the tour guide pointed out there's the big broad wall that Hezekiah built, and guess what it's resting on? A bunch of houses that got torn down to make way for it. So just over and over and over, seeing some incredible things. I did catch a little bit of worship this morning with Christ Community Church, And I was catching that as I was leaving to go worship at that Anglican church again, and it was really neat. And I got to see Samuel and Jackson sitting in the front row, so it was really good to see you guys. I didn't see you, Nathaniel, but I also wasn't looking for long. So just seeing you guys makes me happy. I love you. What we have the next few days. Tomorrow, I get to go to the Garden Tomb again. Again, that's a possible spot where Jesus might have been buried and crucified. Not in that order. Then, let's see. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow we're going to look at the Valley of Elah, and that's where David faced off against Goliath. So that's going to be pretty amazing. Then I go to Joppa, where we're going to look at a little bit of the book of Jonah. That's where Jonah left to go try to flee from the Lord. And then that's where Peter's vision from the book of Acts, and he met Simon the Tanner. Pretty awesome. That's going to be tomorrow. On Tuesday, we get to go to the Dead Sea, and I'm going to float in a big muddy pool. Be real fun. You guys are going to love that. And going to also visit Qumran with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and Masada, this gigantic fortress. Is awesome. But something really close to home for all of us. I'm going to be visiting the real En-Gedi. And that's where there's a spring in the middle of the desert, and it's a home. And kind of reminds me of what I really want for our home. I want us to be a place of love and peace and protection and safety for all of us together in love. And so that'll be on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I'm really excited because I'm going to be boarding a plane to come see you guys. So that kind of gives you an idea. We don't have too much left in the trip. It's been amazing, and I miss you so much, and I'm going to enjoy the next 2 days, but I'm going to enjoy that third and fourth day even more, I think. Anyway, love you, praying for you, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.